Hello, everybody. Welcome to TBC Central. My name is Nancy, and I am your host for today. Today, we are going to visit a movie called Homeless Camps, and we're doing part 2 of 3. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Well, what about when it gets cold? How do you stay warm?
Well, I get lucky.
You guys dropped down below zero here about 2-3 weeks ago.
They had ICC in shelter with the weather nights, and I got lucky. I went to the hospital and things didn't work out, and they ended up putting me in a hotel. Some friends of mine. I mean, we all had, lives before all this happened, and then I guess really, I mean, like I said, mine was, I think, like I was taking for granted what all I had at the time.
Well, that's really impressive that you look at it that way. And do you see yourself pulling yourself out of this pretty soon, or what do you think?
I'm trying to advocate for all the homeless people.
Oh, good.
Stuff like that, helping. There's Miss Betty. She works for the ICC. She's like a liaison, but she's trying to open up a shelter, but she don't have nobody to help her financially back. So one of the things I'm trying to do is hopefully find somebody out there that might help her financially back and open a shelter. Because see, she don't believe, like when she heard that Salvation Army wouldn't take pregnant women, that threw her off.
Now, why would that be? That would seem like that'd be
a liability.
So where's she supposed to go?
Well, that's the thing.
Totally care.
Yeah, I mean, because, dude, I mean, if anybody should get first top treatment, should be pregnant.
Oh, absolutely.
Or like the elderly people or something.
Oh, he points at you, Russ. Well, Andrew, what brought you here? I mean, if you don't mind discussing.
It's a lot of what I'm doing, really. Like a 19, I've been partying. I was in the house. I was doing telemarketing jobs.
Okay.
I was doing that for about a year, just partying all the time, not really saving any money. And it came down to it, a couple of people that I was staying with were supposed to pay me rent. Instead, moved out, left me alone with Phil, lost my job, and was one paycheck away from being on the street. I realized what that meant. I didn't have any savings, didn't have any way to pay the bills, so I was out.
Any people who have carpets, walls, any stuff like that, enjoy it, because at any minute it could all be gone.
The people you see on the streets, the homeless people, don't just assume that's a lazy deadbeat or alcoholic, someone that just can't function in regular life, because it really can't happen to anybody. I mean, you can lose your job, you can be laid off, it does happen. No matter how much you make a year, no matter how secure you are in your family, it can happen to anybody. You can be 1-2 paychecks away. If you don't have your savings, you're out here, and you'll learn what it's like.
This takes guts on your part.
Right.
Well, thank you very, very much, Steve.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate you.
Andrew, you get yourself out there. Okay? We got some good guys here that are.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with the
community. A lot of
wisdom.
With
Every one of these. I got to tell you, when I was up there, I'll stand over here and tell you this. And there's probably some truth to this. I'm over there with Leon the other day, and over by the railroad tracks there. And he says his friend is there bringing him some food and some bread. And his friend says, "You got to be careful out there. You get your head knocked off by one of these guys." But I'm not seeing that. But still around Denton, this is quite an extensive shelter here. Construction close by. I'm going to see if anybody's here. This is just a chance to give you a voice, that's all. It looks like you lost your dog here. No pressure. Well, have a good day. Well, as I mentioned, there are two parts of this. I just tried to talk to the gentleman that was, or whoever was living in that tent up there. And I have two considerations, obviously. The first is their privacy. You don't want to walk into somebody's home or near it without announcing yourself somehow. And so I try to abide by that. And the other thing, of course, is I'm not stupid. Some of these people will have mental problems, maybe criminal histories. And I'm prepared for that, especially being out here alone, I'd have to be. But this is another fairly thick area, as you can see behind me. And there are supposedly some other people in here, so we're going to look around and see. And so we're here in Galveston, Texas. And we're speaking with this gentleman here who was on the street. He started a business of taking care of trees. And I'll let him tell his information here about what happened the last few years.
Here in Galveston, my name's Bo Garrison. I actually have a tree service and a historic restoration service here. And after the hurricane, we had a lot of work that came from all the damage, all the storm surge that came in, all the winds that came in, blew a lot of things over, ruined a lot of houses, and brought a lot of people in during a time that was kind of a tough economic time for everybody around here. And so when I hit, we had probably an influx of, I'd say, 6,000 to 7,000 workers that came in, many of whom did catch on with jobs, many didn't. Those who didn't, meandered about, and then as the work started to finish and everything dried up, there was no place left for them to go. They didn't have the funds to get anywhere. They didn't have the means, the opportunity to go to work and try to get themselves back home, and so many of them ended up here without a place to stay.
Yeah, here I am in Galveston, Texas, and I'm underneath a restaurant and a souvenir place here, a place where a lot of the homeless guys come to stay at night. Well, as most people know, Galveston is no stranger to tragedy. In 1901, the hurricane hit here, and many people lost their lives. The town was totally decimated. And behind me is the seawall that they built in 1903 to prevent that similar situation from happening again. It's probably not the most technically advanced, but it's served them well for over 100 years at this point. When Hurricane Ike came in, of course, it took out a lot of the homes inland. And that's basically what we're talking about now with the homeless, the people that came down here and then couldn't get work. Or did have work and didn't get paid for it, and the contractors ran off with the money. The city does have a Salvation Army and a soup kitchen, but the homeless usually stay in abandoned homes or out here on the beach by the seawall, as I was explaining a few minutes ago. But they chase them out of here during the day, so there's really no one to talk to at this point. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting. All right, well, as I mentioned, we're here in Galveston, Texas, and it's sunny today. And we talked a little bit about vets that are staying out here and others living basically on the land. And that's the case here on the beach. There are no structures here that they can build, but they basically just sleep out under the stars. And so we're going to talk to a gentleman and a couple of his friends. These gentlemen live right here by the seawall. That's Michael over there. He's the vet. He is with the 101st Airborne. Had some time over in Vietnam. And we're just going to sit down here and talk to them. This is where they live, right in these little sand dunes here by the wall. This is their protection from the elements. They don't even have a structure, as I was saying. Just basically where the water washes it out.
Right. I'm an airborne ranger. I want to say one thing left to y'all. Welcome home, fellas, and make it home. And don't give up, whatever you do. Because when you come home, don't be prepared what happens to you when you come home. They might disrespect you. They might not. But welcome home, brothers.
Well, Michael's been out here, he says, for about 8 years, and he didn't have much to say. I guess I wouldn't either. Michael's son, and he's going to tell us a little more about their experience here. Go ahead, Michael. Thank you for talking.
Go Big Horse. And the situation down here is We do what we do every day just to get what we need. Jesus Christ always makes sure we have what we need every day. I will tell you this, it's not very easy living on the streets. When we do live on the streets out here on the seawall, we run 61st and Seawall Boulevard. We love it. I really don't like doing it. I want a job, but I can't get one. Nobody seems to want to hire no one, but that's okay. You know what we're doing? We run out here, we take care of each other. We always are watching each other's six. That means I'm watching your back every day.
How do you guys sleep out here? Do you sleep right out on the sand?
We sleep anywhere we can lay down. And it's liable to be in an elevator. It's liable to be on the seat. During the summer, we sleep in the lifeguard stands.
Lifeguard stands.
Yeah, then to keep out the rain.
Yeah, absolutely. And what about any other kind of shelter? Do you ever have to do a makeshift shelter?
Sometimes we have to sleep in porta potties.
Wow. Do you ever construct anything, or a tent, or
no? Because there ain't no camping in Galveston.
Ah, so they don't let you camp out. So when you sleep out here, you just got to kind of hide, man.
We're by our own. But anyway, yeah, I like to party and I like to have fun, but there's a small smidgen of harassment and taking care of business.
Exactly.
Okay, so they're harassing us, and they're this, and ACLU is on them now. They're harassing the homeless people here in Galveston, Texas.
Do you guys, when you do sleep on the beach, if you find that to be a necessity,
you go to jail.
Well, do you have like a watch that warns you if somebody's coming or anything?
No,
like
they
that?
gonna run up on you.
Really?
Yeah, and they love me. Some youngsters run up on you with some bats. Start whacking you in the head. That's what's wrong with Mikey now. The one he's talking to.
He was hit in the head by a bat. By who did that?
Some kid.
Some kid while you were sleeping?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of danger in being out here.
Yes, sir.
All right. Joseph, I want to thank you for taking this time, okay?
Not a problem, Dad.
You take care.
What's your name?
Roy.
Roy?
Yes.
Glad to meet
You
Roy.
take care, Joseph.
Hey, but I'll tell like it is.
So, pretty Galveston weather today. And there are people that have to enjoy it 24 hours a day outside.
My name is Douglas Ketchens, and I'm a homeless vet. I've been on the street for about maybe 10 or 15 years. And I've been having my ups and downs. And I've been doing a newspaper. I've been doing a little part-time work, like such as doing flyers, which ain't really much to pay no rent, but it's enough just to get you by, get you a little few things that you need. But other than that, I'm just making it day to day with the little money that I have. Because it's kind of hard to stay in places where you're paying $10 or $50 or $60 or $70 a week. So I'm just, just taking advantage of a little part-time job that I have selling newspaper. It kind of helps me out, kind of take care of little responsibilities.
Where do you stay, Douglas, if you don't mind asking?
Well, right now I stay in the third ward.
In the where?
In the third ward.
Okay.
In the third ward. And I got a little camp spot underneath a bridge. And
well, how about family, friends? Where are they located?
Family, friends. I got family in Louisiana. Last time I seen was 1997. I feel as though I can't intrude on them. They got their responsibilities, and my responsibility can't compete to theirs. So that's why I'm on my own. Yeah.
Well, Douglas, I want to thank you. I don't want to keep you from doing your work because you're out here trying to make your own living, but thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Well,
okay?
I appreciate talking to you. That's the way it is. But I'm still God's way. I'm still surviving.
Well, I appreciate that. You mind if I take my picture with you?
Sure.
I'd just like to see us both together here.
I see.
See, we're right here together and kind of in the dark because the way that the camera works. But I think it works out pretty well. Okay.
I got you.
All right, Douglas. Hey, thanks for everything. All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you later.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye. Well, I'm not far from where I was just talking with Douglas and Robert, and there's this wooded area here, and we're going to go in and take a look. We've been walking back through here. It looks like we found a camp already. Anybody home? Hello? Anybody home? Obviously somebody is camping out here, and they're not here right now. At least I don't see them, but we're going to look around and see if we can find them. One of the things that I look for, and it's just human nature, is that try to find paths or easy ways in and out. These people are having enough trouble. They don't want to have to go stumbling through really, really heavy brush, even though they want to be in it. And so I found this path here, and we're going to take it back a little ways. That's not far from where that other tent was that I found a few minutes ago. Had to get a hat on because there are ticks in the area, so try to button up a little bit. So we've been walking through here for a few minutes. It looks like I found something up here. I'm going to call out here in just a minute. Hello, is anybody home? We're about 300 yards into the woods. And anybody home? Trying to announce myself so I don't surprise anybody. It's a fairly big camp, actually. And it's funny, I've almost got a sixth sense for these things, or maybe it's just that there are just so many of them. And that's certainly a possibility, too. Anybody home? I'd love to talk to these people while we're here. We got a big king-size bed here. You can see that. Large ground cloth. Quite a bit of trash here, but as I pointed out before, these people will use these things for their benefit. They'll always find something they can use. Somebody's made a very small shelter there. They still have their socks in there. Looks like it's some type of a glass box, and they put material on the top to try to keep in the heat. Now they've made like a clothesline here, I'm sure, to dry things as they got wet. Yeah, these guys are definitely still here. Nowhere around right now, though. Even have a trash can there, which is a good thing. Try to keep their sight a little bit better. Well, from the looks of things here, I'd say there are only probably one or two guys. It looks like most everybody else has been chased out. And from the looks of some of the belongings that are left behind, somebody's rifled through those, probably looking for something that they could use. But definitely one or two people are in this area. So we'll head back out. Right across the street here from me is some woods that I'm going to go into here in a minute. But I did find this here where there's someone living underneath this freeway overpass. And man, it's so noisy here, I can't imagine trying to rest in this. It seems impossible to me. But here it is. I would surmise that that's the bed up there. Could you imagine falling out of bed from up there onto this? Well, I'm in this woods, probably about 300 yards, 400 yards off the freeway, and there are people back here. Hello, is anybody home? Anybody home? I understand that at least one of the people that's back here is a guy by the name of Frank. Obviously not here right at the moment. I can't imagine living like this. You know, I would hope that I'd have a little respect and at least keep my area clean. But I'm not at this point, so I don't know really what they're thinking. So, you know, all I can do is just call it the way I see it. Anybody home? It looks like to me is that when vets are around, at least things stay a little neater. I guess they're training in you know, how to make sure that you have good hygiene, clean camp, don't leave anything behind. I noticed that, and when they aren't around, it's pretty bad. I can't tell you what some of these tents and some of these mattresses and things smell like. It's putrid. You wonder how human beings can live like that. Obviously, they don't live very well. Probably get sick quite a bit. Very well taken care of. And it's kind of in a clearing. And here we are. Hello, is anybody home? Hello? Hi, how you doing? Hey, I'm a journalist. I'm not a cop. I'm just wondering if I can come in and talk to you folks. I'm a vet myself, and a lot of my friends are in this kind of a situation. And I'm just trying to see how you guys are surviving. Am I welcome to come in? Is that what you said? Thank you. Turn this off for now.
Are you going to do a story about that?
Yeah, we're showing how folks would rather be here, you know, and in nature doing the best they can than going into homeless shelters and being treated, you know, just as a number or whatever. So, you know, this is pretty elaborate here. It's about a quarter mile off the path, and somebody else is coming in. So we'll turn this off until we talk to them. Okay, the two gentlemen there, they didn't want me to show their faces, but one of them's a vet. His name, we'll refrain from that. And, you know, they've had a difficult time. And the vet there was a Marine Corps guy who's out here, and he says that he feels like the government let him go. So, you know, that's a major problem that we see, that these folks do their duty. And I'm not saying that they deserve the world. I'm not saying that. But they need to not be forgotten as well. As I've said in many of my other videos, family should take care of each other. You know, our loved ones, our spouses, our families, the people that really matter should be taking care of us, especially the ones that have been out there and done what their country's asked them to do, not to be left behind. The injuries they've received, the difficulties they've gone through affect them, and we can't just throw them away. All right, we're in another part of this woods where there have been several camps, and I wanted you to see that there's some folks here, and They live right here in this small area. They have a little area where they have a campfire, and this gentleman here is Todd. He doesn't object to being in the show here because he's done a little bit of work on documentaries before. Okay, this is Todd, and he's agreed to tell us a few words about his circumstances and how he feels about this. So thank you very much, Todd, for being willing to talk to us.
Thank you very much. I'm originally from Wisconsin, but I moved to Utah, and I got laid off from my job there. And my wife and I moved to Texas because we heard the economy was better. I've had a few odd jobs, and then I ended up going to day labor. And day labor is so hit and miss. We lost our apartment, and we split up after 8 years because financial. You know, she could get into a shelter, I couldn't. So I heard about here, and that the economy was great here. There's a lot of work. Good.
You mean Texas?
Yeah. No. Specifically.
The specific case here. Okay.
Yeah. And nothing. I couldn't get into a shelter. I tried and ended up going and writing on a piece of cardboard. I have 3 years college. I have 3 years trade school. I work hard. And I'm conscientious, drug-free. And it's just horrible. You know, it's nobody can imagine unless they had to do it themselves. We live in complete hostility. Everybody wants to steal from you. Everybody wants to hurt you. It's just amazing, the type of thing you have to live with day to day. And just trying to stay alive. It's sure not easy. And that's pretty much all I got to say.
I'm still in Austin at a church here, as you can see across the street. And this is an intersection at Montopolis and Riverside, and there's a very large camp here. And I thought I'd take you in here to see it. Maybe we'll talk to a few people if we can.
Okay, that's it for the video today. Tomorrow we'll get to see part 2. I created this channel to raise awareness for the people in need. Those people might include the homeless, runaways, people living below poverty, those coming from natural disasters, and drug users who need or who are trying to get clean. There are numerous people in so many categories which need to be brought to the forefront. If you have what you need to be grateful, as there are many that do not have. I am not saying the rich should support everyone, but I want to make it clear with proper planning, education, and help with changing mindsets, we can make a difference. We will never eradicate the poor because, believe it or not, it's a huge moneymaker for governments. Just like Big Pharma will never release all the medications or treatments that would cure so many diseases because they would lose major profits in doing so. My prayer for everyone is that God will provide everyone peace, love, abundance, health, happiness, and a good life. Be grateful and have a blessed day. Catch you tomorrow.